What if Trigon is the big bad in Injustice 3? Let's talk about it. Like many other DC fans, I try to consume pretty much any and all content from them. Some are great, some are not so great. But one show that is, for the most part, 100% beloved was the original Teen Titans, to the point that it's a cult classic. Young superhero teams, for some reason, are always a fan favorite. To be honest, Young Justice is arguably one of my all-time favorite shows. And I don't think I'm the only one that thinks this way. And, ever since NetherRealm Studios is giving the fans exactly what they want, maybe they'll give us this as well. So, in this video, I'm going to go over what Injustice 3 could look like if Trigon, the Teen Titans' nemesis, was the big bad. But before we go any farther, I will go over where Trigon currently is in the comics. In the actual Injustice storyline. Trigon was actually last seen in a giant fight with Mr. Mxyzptlk. I hope I said that right. And he was in a giant fight with him. And they are, extremely powerful. In fact, they were kind of destroying reality. So a plan was made to send them to the Void, which worked. I mean, Dr. Fate was assumed dead at the time, but he came back like nothing ever happened. So let's make up a scenario where it makes sense. Let's start with Raven. Last time we saw Raven was actually under some type of ward Constantine set on her. So let's say she gets freed somehow, and she brings back her dad. Somehow. However, he needs to bring back his strength, and to do so, Raven brings him magic users or anyone who has some type of mystical ability and brings them to her dad, and her dad drains them of their life. A little bit gruesome, but that kind of goes with the trend of Injustice. This kind of forces mystic and magical users to go look for help, or they're going to be destroyed. Assuming Batman won at the end of Injustice 2, all of the magic users and mystical, let's go to Batman for help. And they probably realize, Batman's not going to do anything to Trigon. Let's go free Superman, because he'll actually kill Trigon if he has the opportunity. And this is where the roster starts disagreeing with each other. We are not going to kill Trigon. Yes, we are going to kill Trigon. No, we're not. Yes, we are. And that's how it begins. And bam, you have a story. We're going to have the younger generation figure out a solution while working together, showing Batman and Superman their own faults for not working together. I want Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman to realize it's time for the new generation to grow up, work together like they used to, and be better than they ever could. However, I will follow a few basic rules. Starting off, if a character is dead, that does not rule them out. Characters like Joker and Atrocitus were brought into the game for literally one fight, and we didn't see them again. That seems totally fair, and I'm going to do that as well. Also, if you were a DLC character, according to the great Ed Boon, that means you are not canon. I'm throwing that out as well. If you were a DLC character in the past, I still see you as available for this fantasy roster. There is also 3 little groups I'm thinking about while making this roster. There is the characters that will always be in Injustice. There's like a Teen Titans and Young Heroes group. And I'm looking for like the Justice League Dark type of heroes. So to start off, we're going to go with Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Supergirl, Aquaman, Black Canary, Cyborg, Green Lantern, Harley Quinn, The Flash, Blue Beetle, Green Arrow. This group right here, I'm just going to say this needs to be in every game. I know some people are questionable when it comes to Black Canary and Blue Beetle, and even some people think with Green Arrow. I just feel this is what the core Justice League would look like. And everyone says like, well, Harley Quinn's not part of the Justice League. And I'm like, yeah, I get that completely. But Harley Quinn also carries most of the DC universe on her shoulders. So let's just say these ones I am going to say are guaranteed at least in Justice 3. Regardless of what the storyline is. I'm going to put money. I would put money on all those characters are in. All right. I'm saying it now. They're all in. The next group are characters that are going to be returning. And that is Starfire, Raven, Nightwing, and Deathstroke. Starfire and Raven are both part of the original Teen Titans show, and they are both fan favorites. And most of all, I think everyone wants to see this actual fight play out. I think it would be pretty epic. So they're in. Nightwing, but we are not going to go with Dick Grayson. We're going to go with the Damian version for continuity reasons. Then we have Deathstroke. He has always been part of the Titans lore, and because he's kind of straddled the good and evil line, he would fit in well in this kind of story. So we're finally at the part that everyone wants to talk about or seeing that are the new characters or the people that I'm speculating on for this video. Here they are. Starting off, we're going to go with Superboy. And the reason we're going with Superboy is because he is a fan favorite from Young Justice, but also gives Kara someone to talk to and someone else in the Superman family. With us not really having any new villains added for Superman, this at least gives us more of the Superman universe. For Wonder Girl, I decided to go with the Cassie version. She's still alive in the comics and has a strong hatred towards Wonder Woman right now, which I think she kind of needs to, put Wonder Woman in her place. Next up, we have Beast Boy, which is probably the most requested character for Injustice 2. And let's just say he's probably also going to be the most requested character for Injustice 3. He's part of the original 5. He's one of the main characters in Young Justice. He just makes sense. And I'm going to say if he's not in my version of the story, he's definitely going to be in the real version of Injustice 3. After Beast Boy, we have Tara, another legacy character. She's also a huge fan favorite. She has ties to most of the roster. I feel like she'd have some epic dialogue and snarky comebacks. So let's go over some bad guys. Starting with Simon. He made a pretty big stir near the end of the original Teen Titans show, and he is also one of the main antagonists towards the Young Justice team. Gorilla Grodd was able to control Green Arrow and Black Canary in Injustice 2, and it just seemed like it worked. Having not only Raven do this, but also Simon, having this happen gives us more creative matchups, and I would really like to see it. I really struggled between Jinx and Shimmer for this spot, but I decided to go with Jinx because the potential for her moveset would be amazing, and also she could also fall into the mystical spot and her crew trying to protect her. Speaking of her crew, we're gonna go with Mammoth. I mean, we don't really have any big guys on the list yet, and without Bane, Grodd, Grundy, or Doomsday, we need some muscle, and since he is part of the original Fearsome 5, he fits in here perfectly. So I wanted to add another sword character. I was bouncing around the idea of maybe Raish or maybe even Lady Shiva. But since her son is in the game, there is more dialogue with her. She could even be the pseudo leader of Jinx, Mammoth, and Simon, since they're wayward children. Clarion the Witch Boy. He fits perfectly into the, oh no, Trigon's gonna eat me category. And also he's the opposite of Dr. Fate, which since the good doctor met his fate, see what I did there? We need to fill his spot anyways. Coming into one of the characters that I'm most excited for is Deadman. But we're going with continuity here. Dick Grayson, not actual Boston Deadman. Not only is Dick part of the original Teen Titans team and the Young Justice team, he's also my favorite superhero of all time. And he needs to be in the game. Make it happen, Boone! Gone, the something of man, blah, 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 blah. It's Etrigan. Etrigan already had concept art for him in Injustice 2. He fits right in with the Trigon story. Since he's already a demon, he could be like the errand boy for Trigon, or he could turn on his master. There's a whole bunch of cool stories they can do with him. And plus, he's a bigger character. We need more bigger characters. Another character that falls in the, oh shit, Trigon's gonna eat me, is Cersei. Cersei also fills in that role of giving Wonder Woman and Wonder Girl a villain to have some dialogue with. Being actually pretty powerful, she could actually be the one that frees Superman in the story arc. And of course, you can't do a magic storyline without John Constantine, another crazy fan favorite. He's up there with Beast Boy with popularity. He can honestly fit in any category, which, benefits him. Also, everyone and their mother wants him to say bullocks at least a half a dozen times while playing the campaign. And of course, Trigon. Not much to talk about here with the big bad. Obviously, you need to scale him down size-wise to fight him, and it's going to take about 11 attempts to finally beat him regardless of the difficulty. One thing that I would like to change, though, is you can't use him until you actually defeat him in one of the story modes. I think that would actually be really beneficial to not only the gameplay, but make you earn something while you play. So lastly, I'm going to go over the pre-order skins and some other skins that have become available to you through grinding or whatever. First off, we have Kid Flash Wally West, which falls in perfectly for the Flash. Then we have Jessica Cruz Green Lantern, which could fall into place for Green Lantern. Then we have Calderon as Aqualad for Aquaman. Now, I am assuming in this storyline, Aquaman is not using his trident anymore. I know that makes zero sense. I know people love his trident. I personally hate his trident because I think it's busted and overpowered. And I know some people agree with me on this. So in my mind, I want him to be more of a bruiser and use the water to his ability, very similar to what he does in the game. Like he has water cover him and stuff. He can swim. I know it makes zero sense. I just want this to happen. Next up, we have Red Arrow or Arsenal or Speedy or whatever we want to call him. And he is going to be a skin for obviously Green Arrow. But actually, like, not just give him the color. Just give him a real goddamn voice actor. Jesus. Next up is we have Tim Drake, which is going to be a skin for Nightwing. I'm going to say this name wrong because I believe no one actually knows the proper name for it, but I believe it's Anastasia Wayne, which is the daughter of the Bat, Damian's sister, Talia's daughter, Batman's daughter. She was in the Injustice 2 comic books. Her character was super interesting within the books, and I'd just like to see her character get explored more. Donna Troy, the original Wonder Girl. She clearly is going to be a skin for Wonder Girl. Then we have Blackfire, which could be a skin for her sister, Starfire. Next up, we have Boston Brand, the original Deadman, being a skin for Dick Grayson's Deadman. And lastly, we have Blockbuster, which would be a skin for Mammoth. Now, I know some of this may not make sense. I know there's a bunch of characters I didn't really get to throw in here. There's the Teen Titans lore and the Justice League Dark lore is massive. I had so many choices to choose from, but I think this cord set makes a lot of sense. I think it's a lot of fun, and I think it would be a great story. Are there characters here you would like to see playable? Are there characters here you never want to see? What characters do you actually want? Let me know in the comments below. I'm going to let you guys know I stream on Twitch every Sunday. I'm almost always playing Injustice 2. Come and stop by. All my social stuff are in the links below. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. My name is Phil, and of course, I'll talk to you guys later.